Hi, Tiago here, and I'm going to show you how you can create a non-destructive test report from within WeldCloud Assembly. First thing you need to do is go into the Reports section and Non-Destructive Tests. In here, you'll have a list of all your existing non-destructive test reports, and I'm going to add a new one. You introduce some details. You define the type of test. In this case, I'm going to do for visual testing. You can specify who is the inspector, and you need to select a project or assembly, as we call them. You can attach a procedure that you have in your generic documents right here on the left. You add them there, and you can specify the acceptance criteria. You can also add notes and attach a PDF if you don't want to generate your own. So after creating this non-destructive test report, you can just filter through it and open it, and now you can add more details. All the fields you introduced before will be displayed in here in the top section, and then you'll have the option to add non-destructive test materials and visual testing variables. On the non-destructive test materials, you can select equipment or consumables that were used in your test, or you can create a new one if you don't find it in your existing database. So you can give it a name, you can give it a type. These types can be customized based on your business requirements, and of course the serial or lot number for this particular material. In this case, I am going to just use this white light here. So I've added one non-destructive test material. You can add as many as you want. And then I'm going to add some details that are specific to the visual test. And I'm going to specify that these are the conditions for visibility. Furthermore, you can now look into adding these inspections to the non-destructive test report. It is essential that you have it linked with an assembly and that this assembly has welds with inspections in it. So I'm going to click Edit, and this shows me all the welds in this assembly that have an inspection for visual testing, marked by this checkbox in here. And if you remove this checkbox, you'll see more welds, and if you try to expand them all, you'll see all the different inspections. The software won't allow you to modify these because they either have a report or have been approved or they are from a different test. So just keep this one selected if you just want to focus your work. I already have it all expanded, and I see a lot of welds that have inspections that have not been completed. So either I already know exactly the welds that I need to inspect, or I can use this filter right here, which allows me to search by weld ID, which stage a weld is in, by base materials, filler metals, the welders, and details of inspection. So you can perhaps do that. If I filter, for example, for weld 19, it will then filter and I'll just see weld 19. I'll remove that for now because I want to add a few inspections. So let me just select them here. 1, 2, 3, and you can see how easy it is to select many at once. So I click Done, and at this moment you'll see them attached to the non-destructive test report. And then I expand them, and you can now add the result. So if this particular weld was acceptable, you can select it here. But if for some reason there was a failure, you can then also go and edit, and you can add some remarks. So let's say welder did not use correct gas flow, just as an example. And then you can add details over the imperfection. So in this case, it would probably be a porosity. There's many types of porosity, like gas pore, gas cavity. There's a significant number of them. If you're using ISO standards, then you'll see there are codes from the ISO standards that are relevant for ISO 5817. So I select porosity 1, and then you can specify the dimensions of these pores. So these are just some examples that I put here. So I click Save, And once I am done with this non-destructive test report, I can then go back and go to the actions. And if I have permission to do so, I can click on Inspect, which will lock it and add my signature to this non-destructive test. And I can have another person do the approval. In this case, I have permission for both, which means I can do both. And the end result that you want to do is export this into a PDF. It will generate this document on our server. It will probably be in your downloads folder. And this is what it looks like. You'll have the details over the light conditions that I inserted before, your signature that you introduce online into the system, and all the details over the welds. In this case, you see that weld 23 has failed, and you'll see the remarks next to this weld, which means you'll have all the information required so that your inspections can be smooth and completed. My name is Tiago. Thank you for watching.